Hello everyone, welcome to Life Science with Veena, and this is the third video from the Biolingo series. Today we are going to understand some terminologies from metabolism. That is, very often the students get confused between glycolysis, gluconeogenesis, glycogenesis and glycogenolysis. So we are going to see one by one. So, if we look at the terminologies, in order to understand any terminology, if we split the terminology into two parts, it becomes easier for us to understand. For example, if you talk about glyco or gluco, that means sugar, that is glucose, and lysis is breakdown, and genesis is the formation or creation. So, wherever you see the word gluco or glyco, that is sugar, and if lysis is there, then it is breaking down or splitting. And if you look for a genesis terminology, it is creation or formation. Now let us see terminologies one by one. The first one is glycolysis. Glycose is sugar, as I told earlier, and lysis is breakdown. So glycolysis is breakdown of sugar. Now breakdown of sugar into what? Breaking down a glucose into two molecules of pyruvate, which is a common metabolic pathway, which is called as glycolysis or EMP pathway, which is a common metabolic pathway. And here you can see glycolysis has been broken down into two molecules of pyruvate, which is pyruvate is a 3 carbon compound and glycolysis is a glucose is a 6 carbon compound. The 6 carbon compound is getting broken down into 3 carbon compound, that is pyruvate. So that is breaking down, glycolysis, breakdown of glucose. Second terminology is uh, Second terminology is gluconeogenesis. Now, glucose is sugar, genesis is formation, but the now new word has been added over here. Now, gluconeogenesis is creation of new glucose from the non-carbohydrate sources. For example, ketone bodies or any other non-carbohydrate sources like glycogen is carbohydrate source, and ketone bodies are glycerol or any other fats or anything. So this is a gluconeogenesis, wherein the synthesis of glucose occurs from the no, mm, non-carbohydrate sources. Particularly this particular metabolic process will happen when you are under starving condition, fasting condition. Okay. And glycolysis, that is first one which we saw, that will occur under well-fed condition. So gluconeogenesis, synthesis of glucose from non-carbohydrate sources, and applicable under the fasting conditions, which are amino acids or lactic acid or glycerol or ketone bodies also. So whatever energy has been stored earlier will be used up over here in this process for making up the glucose. Let us move on to next terminology, that is glycogenesis. Glycogen is a form of a sugar which is stored in the liver and muscles. Okay, so glycogenesis is formation of glycogen. Glyco is sugar, genesis is formation. So glycogenesis is formation of glycogen, and it is a metabolic pathway which converts glucose into glycogen for the energy storage. Now when the blood glucose is high in the body, when you are well-fed condition or excess glucose is formed in the body, then it is stored like a FD in your bank. You save your money in the form of FD in the bank, right? So similarly, the glucose in your body is stored in the form of glycogen in the liver and muscles, and whenever it is required, then it is broken down into glucose and it is used up. So this is glycogenesis. Let us move on to next terminology, that is glycogenolysis. Now, as I told earlier, glucose, sugar, glycogenolysis, that is breakdown of glycogen. So breakdown of glycogen. Now when the glycogen breakdown will occur when you are under the starving condition or fasting condition, when your body needs energy or glucose, your FD in the form of glycogen, you will break that FD, you will take that FD out of the bank. Similarly, the glycogen will be taken out from the bank and will be converted into glucose. So that is glycogenolysis. The glycogen will be breaking down of glycogen, and this is a metabolic pathway which will release the glucose from the glycogen which is stored in the liver and muscles, and when our body demands for a quick energy such as fasting or exercise. So this is called as glycogenolysis. Okay. So this is the fourth term that we have seen. Now here you can see the summary, that is glyco, glucose or sugar, gluco, that is glucose or sugar. Often these terms are interchangeably used. Glycogen, which is a stored glucose, and lysis and genesis. Lysis is breakdown or splitting and genesis is formation or creation. So hope you have understood these terminologies well. Here once again you see the recap of the four terms. Glycolysis is breakdown of glucose into two molecules of pyruvate. This will occur in well-fed conditions when you are having good food and when you are full. Gluconeogenesis is synthesis of glucose from non-carbohydrate sources, which will be from amino acids or ketone bodies or other sources. This will occur under fasting conditions. Glycogenesis will formation of glycogen um, from glucose when you are full or when you are well fed. Then your excess energy will be converted into glycogen and will be stored in the liver or muscles. Glycogenolysis, glycogen is when glucose is needed for the body, then glycogen which is stored earlier will be broken down into glucose and it will be used up in the form of energy. So these are four terminologies. In this manner you can remember it easily. Hope this video helps you in understanding the complex terminologies in the glucose metabolism, and hope it will help you in appearing for any kind of examination or anywhere. So thanks for watching Biolingo series. Stay tuned to Life Science with Veena for more such videos. Thanks a lot.